client-side object model work, how we interact with the client-side object model in a PowerShell, and how we write the code in a PowerShell. While working with the client-side object model, as we discussed earlier, we need to install the SDK for the client-side object model, which is here. Okay, so this SDK you need to install. The link is given here. You need to install this SDK. After installing, I have installed that SDK in the last session only. So after installing, it will add the library reference file in your drive. Okay, so where it will, so this is the location: program file, common file, web server extension, 16 hive. So 16 hive is the folder location. Let me go into the 16 hive folder location. So I click here, then C drive, program files, common files, Microsoft shared, web server extension, and 16 hive. Okay, so here you can see ISAPI name folder is there and all the DLLs are there. So here you can see there is a 16 hive is there. What is the mean? This is called as 16 hive folder. What is this? Is a 16 hive, okay, 15 hive and 14 hive. Whenever you are working on online, our main intention is on 16 hive. What it's called as 16, the name is 16 hive. Okay, so if someone asks you, you know the 16 hive folder, 15 hive folder, it is the location for library to interact with SP online. Okay, so it contains the libraries which is used to interact with the SharePoint online. If you go here ISAPI, and here you can see the all the library references are there. Okay, so here different folders are there, but main intention is on ISAPI folder, and in that these libraries are there. 16 hive, what is the 16 hive is the interview point of question, or what is the 14 hive, 15 hive. 14 hive is for the SharePoint 2010, 16 hive, yeah, 15 hive is for SharePoint 2013, and 16 hive is for SharePoint online. So keep in mind that, and our main intention here, if you after installing that SDK, there are different libraries are added here. Okay, so we know that and we learn that. Up now, moving ahead, after adding the library, the next step is you need to, while writing the code, so client side object model, how this mechanism of the client side object model, here is the I cut this here, we write our PowerShell script. Okay, so we write our PowerShell script, then it goes here with our DLL. So DLL, those we have installed, is the client dot Microsoft dot SharePoint dot client, Microsoft dot SharePoint dot runtime dot DLL, those are there. So through this DLL, our code will execute to the proxy and it send the request to which service, client dot svc, and it connect with the server object model. We don't have any intention with the server object model, and it content database will get the response from here and then return the response in the JSON format. Response will be written and it will be display in our console. Okay, so this is the mechanism how it's work. Okay, this mechanism for the JavaScript, this is the old diagram, that's why we are look like this. Okay, so I go here, I go and show you how it execute. Okay, one by one we see how it interact with the client.svc. Okay, so let me go and let me go and execute your first step. While writing the client side object model, we need to, first thing we need to add our yes, just a minute, we need to add here. Okay, so what I have added, the library files. Okay, so first thing, whenever you add the library, maybe based on your operating system, the location of the 16 hive folder may vary, so you need to check that whether it's pointing to the same location. Yes, it's pointing to the correct location, means no need to change the address path. So what we pass the assembly file reference, the reference name is microsoft.sharepoint.client.dll, Microsoft SharePoint.client.runtime.dll. What is the DLL? What is the assembly? This is the part of a .NET. So what is the DLL? Note down what is the DLL and what is the assembly. Okay, so you need to understand, or I'll ask you what is the assembly. Okay, and DLL. Okay, DLL. Okay, so these 2 points you need to tell me tomorrow. Okay, so here we add you the references of these two. After that, what we need to do, so I'm just copying the content, because if I type it will take some time. So there are different libraries: Microsoft.SharePoint.client.user profile service, taxonomy.dll search, but our intention is whenever what kind of work you are going to do, based on that you need to add that service. Okay, now we are working on the Microsoft.SharePoint.Client.dll. Okay, so next thing is that what operation we are doing here, we are just retrieving our site URL. Okay, sorry, site name. Consider here is my SharePoint site. So this is my SharePoint site and the site name is, let me check, Caesar Vision Demo is the site name and this is the URL of site. I just want to retrieve my site name. So how we can implement that? First of all, what we do, we initialize our variable that is called as here. Okay, so this is the variable. So this is the site URL is the variable. So while writing the PowerShell script, when you say dollar and some name, means this is the variable. Okay, there is no specific type. You can define integer, number, all the variables in the same format. Okay, this is a string, so I put it in a string format. I give my sorry here if I pass the URL here. Okay, so after that, this is site URL. Now moving ahead, let me go. After that, what we are going to do here, you can also get the value of parameter. If you want to take the parameter from your console, okay, you need to write the site URL. A read host means it will give the prompt, enter the site URL. On console you need to enter the site, but here I directly hardcode the site URL. Okay, now here to interact with our site we require some credentials. Okay, how to connect? But see, keep in mind that whenever we are working on the manage, we are working on the manage SharePoint shell. If we work on manage SharePoint shell manage, then what we need to do, we need to connect with SP admin center. Okay, so we need to connect with the SP admin center if you are working with the SharePoint managed shell. Okay, but here we directly connecting with our site collection. You can see here I am directly interacting with the site collection. If you are with the managed shell, then you need to go with the connect and SharePoint admin center. This difference you need to keep in mind, that here no need to connect with the SharePoint admin center. Now go ahead, what we do, we say get credentials, and we can, here there are two ways to get the credential. You can see, you can directly ask the credential on a pop-up, or you can directly pass the credential here. If I directly pass the credential, let's see how it works. Okay, I just copy and paste. I directly put my credential in a code. Okay, I directly put my credential in a code. Okay, so see here, oh sorry. Okay, so here what I'm doing now, I'll explain one by one. This site URL, I just pass my username. I go and copy my username here. These are the things interviewer may ask you the steps. Okay, so here I pass username, password. What I am doing, Microsoft.SharePoint.Client.SharePoint credential. Already we have added the library Microsoft SharePoint.Client. In that there is a method SharePoint online credentials. So I pass my credentials. You can see here, convert to secure string. Secure string means it's converted into the some different format like hex or hexadecimal format. Here the password as a plain text. Okay, it takes that password, and force means without execute this, forcefully execute this query. Means what I'm doing, I'm converting it into the hexadecimal, convert to secure string, and here we can pass the username, which is here we are giving, and our credential part is ready. So what is the next part is the set up the context. New object here, new object Microsoft.SharePoint.Client.Client context. Okay, so the client context is a really important part. Okay, client context is a really important part. So what I'm doing, I'm creating the client context. Means see the difference here. Now where is my diagram? This is my diagram. Okay, so we are doing the operation this side, we are doing operation this side. Okay, this is our client side and this is the server side. You can see the server side is here. All right, so So server side is here, and now what are we doing? We are interacting from client to the server. Okay, so whenever we are working, we are sending something to the server. So we need to send, if I ask you to send some goods to the Delhi, so what you do, you put the good in one truck or in one vehicle. Okay, and then it will go. So first you load that truck. So same way we are creating a context. The context means that the vehicle, that the truck load a role played by this context. Okay, so how this context means client context, means we can say that this is the context is the object. The role of this context to send the content to the server side and bring the response. Okay, so again I go here what we do, Microsoft SharePoint dot client context for this particular website. This context is saying, okay, and what we do, I do here, I pass my credential with this context. Okay, whenever you are sending any goods to any company from Pune to Delhi, so at that time what you do, you give him some authentication letter or anything, so that the front party will accept that goods and he will get authentication that yes, this is the authenticated person, you bring that. Okay, so same way see now, see now here I'm not let me go ahead, we'll go step by step and explain properly. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm just saying this is a very important part here. Now see, context dot web. Okay, okay, so context dot web here. So what I'm saying, the context is playing the role of the vehicle to send some goods to the Delhi or to send some request to the server. The role performed by the context. But what goods you need to load? Here you can see the load word is here. Okay, load word is here. Okay, so load. So load means you are loading something. Here what I'm saying, context dot web. Now the context is ready, but what I'm created another variable web, and I pass that variable here in a load. Context is ready. You pass the site URL. This with this client side object, this context contain information. Okay, so this is in that what I'm saying, that this context must load the web information. Okay, and that web information in this variable, and I say load that web into this context. Okay, so that web is loaded, and then I'm saying context dot execute query. So this is the stage where your vehicle or your request sent to the server. It means your vehicle started moving towards our Delhi location, or your request going to our server. Okay, so next step what we are doing here, now here create a variable, assign it to the list object. Here another example, this is another example they gave. Just a minute, we'll complete the, okay, I just put this. Okay, see here. Okay, so I put this here now. Okay, so now I'll explain you step by step. I take this down bit. Okay, so here now here my context is ready, means I just divide, this side is the server, this side is the client. Okay, so client and server divided in two parts. Here you are sitting your system on system, this is your machine. Okay, and you are doing your work. Okay, your client side, and this is my server. Okay, at server side, and this is all is the, you know, this network. Okay, just a minute. Oh, again let me type. Why this type again? Let me remove this. Okay, again I'm here, and now okay, so here server side, here client side. Okay, and now here's your system, laptop. Okay, whatever you are working on. Okay, okay, you send one request to the server, this is overall network is there. So here what happened here, you at this stage, what I'm saying, at this stage client context dot execute query, nothing is happen until and unless you say context dot execute query. Means up to this stage what you are doing, say whenever you say credentials and here means your vehicle is ready. Okay, consider this is your vehicle. Okay, consider this is your vehicle and load. This is load in your vehicle. Okay, and what you are loading, you are saying web. Okay, I want web info. Okay, but what is this truck name is a, consider this truck name is a context. Okay, I say CTX. Okay, so this is your truck. Okay, and this is a driver. Okay, so context, and what you give with them, you are saying web. But with this driver, what information you have given? With this driver you have given the credentials. Okay, so the driver holding the credentials and he started moving to the server side. But when he will start whenever you say context of execute query. Okay, then his request goes to the server. Then here at this stage you know the there is the here you know the service, the name of the service client dot svc. Okay, so this is the service. To that service it will interact. The service will perform the next role to connect with the database and get the response. Okay, and that response again loaded into the truck and your vehicle will return here. Okay, and it display the result web dot title. Okay, so this thing happen. But when happen, whenever I say execute query, what execute query, then only your truck driver will start the ignition and move his vehicle. Okay, up to this you understand. So I will erase this. Now here you can see client contact dot execute query is here. Okay, now you load the web, say client contact dot execute query, and your vehicle is started to the server. Let's go. Now I'm going to execute this code. While working with the PowerShell, one thing keep in mind that here you can put the breakpoint here. Breakpoint. Okay, so how to add the breakpoint? Debug and breakpoint. Control B is the Control B. How I can add the breakpoint? Debug. List of a breakpoint. Okay, so what is the breakpoint? I'll tell you afterwards. Okay. Why I'm not able to save client context? Not able to say put the breakpoint. Why? Here F9 is a breakpoint. So here I put one breakpoint here, F9. So whenever I put the breakpoint, it highlighted with the red color. Okay, and up to this I put two breakpoints. See, whenever I say start running, it hit here. Okay, again same way I will go here in my folder, remove this part. I don't want this part. Okay, let it be. Okay, so I remove everything. Okay, still requests are going on, so no problem. You can see the all network traffic. See here. Now I'll run this code. Okay, so I run this code. You can see the color change in the brown here. Means it stopped there. Your compiler execution stop here. If you move cursor here, you can see the variable name, username, and what value it's storing. Okay, now I press F10. See, when I press F10, F10, it moves to the next line. Okay, compiler moves to the next line. See, now it goes to the credential. You move your cursor there, credential. See, this credential is holding the variable username. You can see username, this, and password is a password. We have password secure string. That's why it's not visible here. Now here again set up context. Now I'm call my truck or vehicle. See this context, what information it hold. See here. You can see in a context what details. The web Microsoft.SharePoint.web site. These are different methods associated with this contact. Why? Because I'm saying SharePoint.client.context and I pass my URL. Here you can see the URL, but for in front of a web or title, or you cannot see web. Web again contain web. This I'm creating the client context object. In that web, that web also having different properties like title, then description. Okay, these are different properties associated with it. URL. Okay, so now up to this you know the context. Now I pass credential to this context. Okay, here see, now after passing the credential, just move the cursor here, stop there. You can see here, you can see the authentication mode default, then validation on a client true is there. Okay, so now here it go to the next level. Now see here, now I'll go in a filter. See any request, you can see that in that Caesar Vision is mentioned here. No, because we are, our site name is Caesar Vision, there is no request to the server. I load my truck now. Okay, I load the context. You can see Caesar Vision is there. No, whenever I say client contact dot execute query, then it start. Now not executed. Client dot execute query is not executed yet. See, whenever I press F9, then you will check the network traffic, what exactly happened. Okay, nothing happening here. See here. Now see, now I press F9. Okay, now I press F9. See here, you can see Caesar Vision request hit. You can see Caesar Vision. See Caesar Vision, Caesar Vision, Caesar Vision. You can see there are different requests goes to the server. Caesar Vision site.asmx. You can see there are different web services in picture. You can see client.svc is here. You can see here client.svc. Okay, so here what I'm doing now. See now here sites. Now the response. The huge data it retrieve. You can see the title Caesar Vision demo. You can see here JSON response. Okay, and here you can see the XML response as well. See here title, it retrieves the response in a JSON as well as XML. You can see the title also here. See Caesar Vision, see title. Okay, so it retrieves the information related to that web request. Okay, so what I want to show you, that the web come up with the many information, URL, decode URL, and many information. But the information which is a catchy welcome page URL, then entire site URL, all these details it will retrieve. So my intention, when this happened, here is another request, sites.asmx. Okay, this is another request. Okay, when this execute, when I say send the request, execute query, when I say execute query, then it send the request to the client.svc. After that there is no request to the server. There is no request to the server. Means once he send the request to the server and the response. See, whenever we are working with a filter, interview may ask you what, where you can see the request, where you can see the response. So this is the request part, this is the response part below. Okay, so here you can see it hit the client.svc web service. We can see the header. Let me show you. See, important thing is here, we know the API having the type post. Okay, I just say request is a, this request goes to the post request. Okay, means I post request sent to the this URL. Okay, here. So now here we get the response and all. Now I go back and I can see I'm here now. Now request executed. Now I press F10. You can see the response caesarvision.com. So this is the actual execution process of a client side object model through the our I trace you and show you through the filter. Okay. So next thing what we are doing here, let me go and show you here. Okay, web dot title and update. Now here I replace that. Okay, I replace this thing contact dot web, and here I replace with this code. Okay, same code. Okay, here I'm saying web title. I'm saying or my web title is Caesar Vision demo. I rename it with the Caesar Vision demo, uh, say CSOM. Okay, so I replace the name of my site. Again I will show you how it execute. So enter your point of question. When the request goes to server, when execute query will get triggered, then request goes to the server. Okay, again I go here. Okay, save, execute, press F10. It goes into F10 means it used for line by line debugging. Okay, so here again I say web title. Up to this there is no request to the Caesar Vision web service. There is no request. Whenever I say execute query, I mean execute query. Now I press F10 and see the change here. You can see here Caesar Vision request goes to the Caesar Vision. Caesar Vision, Caesar Vision. See the responses. Where is the response? See, slowly we got the response. Let me check. See here. It's working. I think executing. Just a minute. Go back. See, it's a running script. Script is still running. So see, now response we got. Script is running. Script execution completed. Now we got the response. See here. It takes some time for execution, and we got the response. What we did here, we changed the name. Okay, so we changed the name here. Let me scroll down. Here our client.svc. Let me check the name. Here you can see this is a request part and in response error info null. I think URL updated there. Let me check. When I F10 here, see the URL is Caesar Vision demo CSOM. If I go on site, here our site name will get change. Why it's not changing? See here. Okay, you can see our site title will change to the CSOM. You can see here CSOM. Okay, so what we did the update operation here. That's why it's update the thing. So you understand how CSOM object model work, and what is the role of this SharePoint client dot, why we add this is a lab reference we need to add. Okay, so this is about the CSOM object model. Okay, so now we stop here. In next session we will discuss more on CSOM. Thank you.